We do have a little evaluation form that we do at the end of every conference, and future places that us to look at. They stay here. They like it here. It's convenient. It's got everything. The place is great. They're so nice, and it just has everything to offer right there.
Thanks for joining us on Louisiana's Playground Podcast, your roadmap to all things Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm Brady Raynard.
And I'm Emily Trimmy.
And this is a special episode coming your way. As you can tell, Emily coming in as the co-host for this episode. So good to have you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes. Talking about, of course, the authentic stories and experiences of Southwest Louisiana with the tools that you can build your own personal Lake Charles itinerary, or how about this, Emily, your own personal Lake Charles conference, right? This is a great place to have a conference.
It is. We've got a lot to offer here in Lake Charles, if you didn't know.
And the perfect guest to talk about that is Miss Tammy Grant. She's the president of the Louisiana chapter of the National Institute of Governmental Purchasing. She's got 3 decades of experience in procurement, and nearly 2 decades of that experience has come as president of the organization. And the best part is that her group has been spending their annual conference here each of the last 8 years, and now comes with the podcast to talk about that. Welcome to the show, Tammy.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So, as Brady said, y'all have been coming here this is your 8th year to host your conference here in Lake Charles. So I just want to jump in. What can you tell us about your group and your conference in Lake Charles? I mean, y'all are one of the bigger ones that we have come in. So can you talk a little bit about what y'all do at your conference?
Well, our conference is made up of governmental procurement professionals across the state of Louisiana who are, the caveat is you have to work at a governmental entity, state, political sub, quasi-city, parish, community college, university. And our organization offers training throughout the year, and we do this as our annual educational conference and a vendor expo. So it allows us to not only give back and do the educational training for all of our members, but it also allows us to connect with all the vendors who want to do business with Louisiana. So it brings that business aspect into it for Louisiana to get that resources from out-of-state vendors. So we have I think the last year we had over 130 vendors who came in and wanted to participate, so much that we had to turn some down. So they are all interested in doing business with the government, and we're just another avenue that allows them to be able to come in and do that, as well as for us to offer educational experiences and training for our members.
Well, at this point, you should be pretty familiar with Lake Charles, right? Being here
gorgeous.
As often as you are, right? How would you describe it to someone that hasn't been there before? When you talk to your vendors, when you talk to maybe some of the attendees, and they're like, "Oh, it's in Lake Charles. What's that like?" How do you explain that?
So there's so many different aspects of Lake Charles. I would say outside of the conference venues that we have, I mean, it's a beautiful city. It has so much historical sites out there. The festivals are out there. It's beautiful. I mean, look at the lake right outside of the tourism office. And the people here, it's almost like it's a big city, especially I live in Addis, which is a small town outside of Baton Rouge. So this is big city to me. And it is, but it has that small town feel. So wherever we go and whoever we talk to, they're all very nice, sweet. And the venues that we go to that we have been doing for the last however many years, since 2018, I think. And we're working on our contract for the next. So hopefully we continue to stay here.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, I feel very hopeful. It's a place that allows us to have everything all in one place. Mm-hmm. And so not only do our members and the vendors who fly in from wherever, Houston, Baton Rouge, and drive into here, it allows them to see the sites that's here. There's so much outside of the venue, but inside the venues, it's kind of like an all-encompassing. It has everything right there. So with all of that in the hospitality, that's why we keep coming back. It's just the best of everything all in one place.
Well, compared to other places that you guys have hosted, and I know it's been a number of years, when compared to those, what stands out about Lake Charles specifically?
I would say we have had our conference way back when, and that was pre-Katrina. We used to have it in New Orleans. And of course, that's a fun place. You get to go outside, but it took away from the actual conference piece and the networking piece that we have here. And what Lake Charles has that offers, of course, it does have all of the sites and you get to learn about all of Lake Charles, but it also gives us the ability to network with our people. And the vendors like that. So it's good for Louisiana. It brings people into Louisiana. It brings the vendors into Louisiana. It brings the delegates, our members, and outside people who are just wanting to see what goes on in the procurement field. It allows them one place where they can go and feel like they're part of a community because everything's right there. So in y'all event spaces that y'all offer, it has the ability for us to be able to, when you go out and you finish classes, we're all walking around the same place. You're going to have coffee with them. You're going to have a drink with them. You're going to listen to music with them. And our socials are all at one place. So we have a lot of networking events that are there too. And people don't need to get out and get on the street, and it's all encompassing. And not to mention, did I mention the great staff and the community and the customer service that's here in Lake Charles? Y'all have definitely done a great job at that.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I kind of want to touch, so y'all, like I said, y'all are one of our largest conferences that we have here in Lake Charles with over 1,000 attendees that come in every year. And y'all don't go anywhere else, right? It's just kind of like y'all are staying on property. And I think that in itself is great because we have it all there. It's a one-stop shop. You have every amenity you could possibly need for your conference at the property you're hosting it at, which I think is awesome too.
Mm-hmm. That is definitely a big draw for us. We have had venues in the past, before we grew, we have definitely gotten much bigger. I think that we have probably about 350 vendors who come and over 350 members. So we're a pretty big attendee numbers that come attend. And it definitely has that ability to keep everybody in one place and networking so we don't need to go outside. And in the past, we have, when we've gone to different venues, had to hire or contract for buses and bus people out to social events. So it's also a little cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
But not only just the cost prohibitive, then you get people out on the road and then you have them at night and then you're driving them out and then it takes away from the networking. So what y'all offer that a lot of places don't offer is that complete networking ability, which is great for not only, our organization, but Louisiana and the public servants who are doing a great job at what they're doing to try to make Louisiana a better place, that they are also having to be able to network with the other members to learn and help their jobs be better. But it also helps those vendors connect with Louisiana because you're kind of in a captured place and it's just great. And with all the restaurants and the shops and the venues, it's great. It's a great place.
I like that you had mentioned cost prohibitive and the value aspect of it all. With what we offer at Visit Lake Charles in our meeting incentive program, you guys obviously are one of the events that come into town that reach our maximum, that we're able to give back to you and make it a little bit more incentivized, right, to meet here. With over, and correct me if I'm wrong, over $30,000 we've given out just this last year alone, right?
Yeah, about 35,000.
Right, back to similar groups and smaller groups, bigger groups. Speaking of that, how does that additional money going back into the organization's pocket help?
Well, in so many ways, probably so many that I can't even explain. But one of our biggest is it helps offset the cost of running the conference because conferences of this size can be very costly. There's a lot that goes into it. So it's definitely helps take some of that financial burden off of us. But it also helps with anything that we may have that is a little bit of a profit that we make from the conferences. It helps with our scholarship programs. So we offer scholarships to our members. So the governmental agencies, whether it's a city or a parish or a state agency, offsets their costs when it comes to training to get them their procurement experience and the training that they need in order to do their jobs and do a better job at what they're doing so that we could be more fiduciarily responsible for taxpayers in Louisiana. So the scholarship program is that helps fund all of these educational programs is something that is a big part driven by some of the incentives that we get from Lake Charles. So without those, we definitely would not, or we would struggle with having the ability to offer as many as what we offer now. So it's great for that.
Not that you don't talk enough money at work already, but speaking of the value, hosting it here compared to the other cities, you mentioned you had been to New Orleans before, and they're so great in so many aspects. Hosting it here, one of the best things that I feel like that we get to offer is the value cost-wise. Where are you on that in terms of where does Lake Charles kind of sit in terms of the value of hosting it here in terms of the cost?
I will tell you, part of our policy and procedures in our bylaws. We're a nonprofit organization, so then we have constitutions, bylaws, and policy and procedures. And part of that is we do need to, before we sign any contract or before I sign it, is that we need to make sure that we go out there. And of course, we're procurement folks, so best value, right, at the best price.
Best bang for the buck.
There you go. And so that we're not wasting taxpayer money again. And so we do take a look at every time before we sign a contract, we have to go out there and kind of look around and see what's available. And historically, every place that we've looked at, the costs are so much higher. When you have the catering aspect, the outside venues, the event space, the transportation, everything that goes along with it is just extremely costly. And there's just more than what people can afford. And it just does not bring the value that we need in order to perform and to get these conferences. So it's a great value.
Yeah.
And the financial value is wonderful and great, but also is the other piece is that y'all are just a great group to work with.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's nice being, being the leader in value and then being the leader in convenience too, and so when those things marry up, it doesn't surprise me to hear that you guys have made it 8 years and are looking to maybe make it 10, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And touching on convenience and something we do offer that y'all take advantage of every year is our services. So we have Madison specifically here as our destination services specialist to help conferences, conventions with items such as welcome bags, name tags, a welcome letter from the mayor, which y'all have received year after year. So can you talk about how those services alone also help your conference out with, I know conference planning can be a lot, there's so many little details that go into it. And so for us to take the load off of getting a welcome letter from the mayor or welcome bags or even, a group dinner somewhere because we have those local contacts. So it's easy for us to pick up the phone and make a quick phone call or an email to a local restaurant. Just can you speak on how easy that is for y'all and how that helps y'all?
100%. The welcome bags, let me first go with that. It brings in so much of what is available around here in Lake Charles. Y'all bags are phenomenal. We like them. Our members like them. I will tell you, when I've looked at the welcome bags and the flyers that's in there and what Lake Charles has to offer, it's brought me back here on a weekend that didn't have a conference just to ride around and eat because I seem to stay at the venue. And so y'all have some great restaurants around here. And so the historical buildings and homes that are just gorgeous. So I have come back for that. So I think your welcome packages definitely bring that. And the mayor's letter, our members look forward to seeing that in our program every year. We put that in there. It's nice to have like I said, that small town feel that you're actually welcome to what we're doing. It's not just that it's a financial transaction that we're doing back and forth, but we're actually welcome into the city. And we feel that. Our members feel that. And actually, they love it. They ask us not to go anyplace else. And we do have a little evaluation form that we do at the end of every conference, and future places that us to look at, because again, we have to by bylaws. And they stay here. They like it here.
Sure.
It's convenient. It's got everything. The place is great. They're so nice. And it just has everything to offer right there.
Speaking of those forums, what specific feedback do you get from the attendees?
They love the how do you say, like the all-in-one place. They love that. They love being able to go and not having to drive from other places. Other venues and other conferences we had prior, and like I said, I've been doing this way too long, but we have had to contract out with multiple hotels, and they would have to either drive in or we'd bus them in. And if we made transportation their responsibility, then they would walk in. You'd have to worry about rain or weather. And so the all one place is something that most places don't offer or capture, and y'all do it so well. And that is definitely one thing that they thoroughly enjoy, and they love coming back to that piece of it.
I think that's a really big asset that we have here. We are the one-stop shop, multiple of our properties. So I like that y'all are able to come in and do everything on site, and it takes the guesswork out of a lot.
We're so happy to be here, and obviously our members are, because our evaluation forms keep saying come back to Lake Charles. So
that's what we like to hear.
Yes, thank you. And thank you. I really believe over my years of doing this and putting on multiple conferences for the organization that it's turned out to be a great partnership. Of course, every conference has glitches. You're going to do that. You're going to have that when you're planning, doing meeting planning and event planning. But there has, I don't know if we've ever worked with another another event space that hasn't that has had that customer service and willing to work with us, because you're going to have glitches on everything, whether it's meals or rooms or this or that. And but we always are just, your people in the event space here are always just one call away, and have always been there to be very accommodating. And that's rare, especially these days. You don't get that kind of customer service very much in a lot of the spaces these days. So we're very grateful for that, which is why we keep coming back.
Keep coming back. And I guess to kind of put a bow on the whole thing, what would be your pitch? Or I guess, why should someone that's hosting an event consider Lake Charles as it needs to be in their short list when looking at destinations?
I would say some of the biggest takeaways, or financially, it is a great place for what you get. Big bang for your buck. It is a wonderful event space, no matter which one of the resorts you choose or which one of the hotels or plans. They're all great. We've looked at all of them. And so financially, y'all offer something that is very rare, to be able to do it all in one place. So not only the financial piece of it, the incentive program helps with our education program, and it helps us give back to the communities and give back to the organizations and the public, as we are a nonprofit public sector membership based. And the customer service, it's all of that. We haven't had someone who has worked, or the ability, or the wanting to work with us like y'all have. Y'all have just been great and accommodating. So I think money all in one place, and the just friendliness and the customer service of the place is great. So we thank you. We think it's a great partnership, and we hope to continue on with the partnership.
We hope y'all keep coming back year after year.
Thanks again to Tammy for joining us here on the show for this special episode, and thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a rating or review. It really helps us grow.
And it also helps us further share the unique experience Lake Charles and Southwest Louisiana has to offer. Go to visitlakecharles.com/podcast for more episodes, where to eat, and events happening this weekend. I'm Emily Trimmy.
Thanks, Emily. And I'm Brady Raynard. Thanks again for coming to play at Louisiana's Playground. Sit here.